rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome farm animals. That's the mission of the Suncoast Sanctuary we're visiting this week. At Love Life Animal Rescue, we meet the mayor, Mojito, and more pot-bellied pigs than we can remember the names of. And we're up close with one of the oldest breeds of cattle in the U.S. Learn what these Florida cracker cattle represent and why they are important to our state history. Plus, a sign of hope for an endangered species. Zoo Tampa celebrates the birth of a precious pygmy hippo. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. It has to be a labor of love these days when it comes to animal rescue. Long hours, tough cases, and sad stories often fill the daily task list. But thankfully, there are humans who are up for the challenge, like the ones at Love Life Animal Rescue in Mayaca City, Florida.
Baby, move! Up here. Follow Mommy's voice. Oh, thank you. We took in Tofu and Tahini after Hurricane Ian. Their family's home was completely destroyed in the hurricane. So they've been with us ever since. Fun fact about pigs, pigs wag their tails when they're happy, just like dogs do. We get about anywhere from 15 to 50 plus surrender requests every week. We moved to Mayaca about a year and a half ago. So all of this wasn't here when we came in. So all of these outbuildings, all of these fences, it's been a labor of love, pun intended. So
yeah, no, it has to be. It is a dedication of more than 100%.
So this is our barn. It is full of pot-bellied pigs. So there's 12 stalls in here. There's probably about 30, well, way more pigs than that actually. But every pig in here came from rescue. This is Augustina. Augustina is what we call our street rat. She didn't sell at market a couple times, so her previous owner dumped her in an empty field. She fended for herself for 5 weeks. Come here, buddy. August, come on. Come on. So she's missing about 70% of her ears. And every time we let her out, she goes straight for the garbage cans because she thinks she's still a street rat. You get fed 3 times a day. But most of the kiddos in the barn, they know the routine. They know to go to their room. They can sit, they can stay, they can speak, all that fun stuff since they are very smart. August. So she is looking for a home. She's super friendly. Hi. Yeah, the good baby. Come on, let's go to your room. Yeah, you go to your room? That's a good baby. Good job.
What is the main animal that you're handling here?
So there are 117 rescue animals here right now, 58 of which are pot-bellied pigs. In here we have Daisy, Dottie, and Fish. Daisy and Dottie came from an episode of Animal Hoarders on Discovery, whatever channel that is. And Fish, his mom was killed by hunters while she was giving birth. Every animal here has come to us either from a case of abuse, neglect. Owner surrender is a very popular one. People will adopt these tiny, what they think are going to be very small pot-bellied pigs, and when they get to over 100 pounds, it doesn't fit their lifestyle anymore, or they only have one and they're herd animals, so they start getting depressed or aggressive or destructive. I couldn't tell you the amount of people that try to raise pot-bellied pigs in their house, and then I get a call 6 months later saying that it's eating their sheetrock and it's gotta go. Bye-bye. Hi, so Violet's a truck jumper. A woman found her, running down a major highway in Cocoa Beach when she was about 6 months old. Yes, a year ago you would not even be able to be anywhere close to this pig. Hi, I know. They'll also sing when they're happy. Her best friend / life partner here, this is Tink. Hi, Stinker. Tink is deaf and blind.
When you operate a farm like this, both of you, there's many things you have to know how to do. You just don't pick up the phone and say, I need somebody who can take care of my rooster today or what have you. How did you learn it? You're college educated. I bet you didn't get into farm animals in college.
No, so I actually born and raised in Long Island, New York. Probably never touched a farm animal till I got down here. But you know, having the empathy and compassion for pretty much all animals, you learn as you go, and you use the tools and the tricks that you learn along the way to be able to save as many animals as you can. Oh, hello!
How many acres are you on here?
So we're on 10 acres here. Hamilton, the mini pig of Venice, has his own Instagram and Facebook page. He was an indoor pig for 6.5 years until he decided that he was going to start eating all of the pet sitters.
You have so many different animals here. Obviously the pigs,
Yes.
perhaps, are your favorite. And of course, when we pulled up, we were met by this grand and glorious turkey who was rather disturbed that we were coming up the drive, and you called him the mayor.
Yes, yes. Mayor Wilson is what we call him. He just needs to greet everyone and likes everyone a little too much, let's just say.
Has a little story too. He just about didn't make it here to the farm, did he?
So we came across Wilson 2 days before Thanksgiving. The story goes that his entire flock was eaten by coyotes and that they wanted him to find a good home, but they were selling him for $140 2 days before Thanksgiving. So we found a volunteer that was willing to sponsor that cost to be able to save his life. And when he got here, he had an upper respiratory infection. He was covered in mites. He just was in pretty rough shape. All of these animals, just like us humans, we just need a little patience, a little love and compassion, and we can become our true selves.
They want the love.
Oh,
they
yeah.
really, really do. But when they've been so abused,
Yep.
they're going to make you work for it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've got some crazy survival stories. We've got a blind cow. We have a 3-legged sheep. We've got a 1-eyed chicken, a 1-horned goat. It just goes on and on.
You sound like a song.
Or the start of a really sad joke. But no, all of these animals are thriving and living their best lives in sanctuaries. They've all found best friends and herd mates and things like that. So that's what we do it for. Baby Moo! So Muñeco, Baby Moo, is completely blind. This is Jackson and Mojito. They're father and son. They came from a petting zoo that was closing down during COVID. Muñeco came from a meat farm up in Frostproof, cattle ranching. The cowboys found him nursing off his mom's dead body when he was only 3 to 5 weeks old. He lost his eyesight to a brain infection from malnourishment when he was very young. So we had a specialist come out and confirm that he can't see a darn thing, no shapes, no colors, no shadows, nothing. So he actually uses his cattle crew here to be able to help him navigate through the fields and where to go.
And did you find, as I do with the dogs, everybody says, well, they love unconditionally. Yeah. They forgive unconditionally.
Realistically, it's a beautiful thing to see that switch in an animal, to know how they were when they first came and how they are now in terms of, you know what, that animal knows it's safe now. That animal knows that it's gonna get fed. That animal knows that it's gonna get to run around. That animal, they know. And they know that we saved them. Homer and Mona over here came from Hernando County Animal Services. Mona is missing all of her ears and was attacked by one of their dogs. So we did shockwave therapy and physical therapy with her. It's nap time right now, but.
I'm sure that some of our audience is sitting there saying, well, they did it and they make it look so easy, but it's anything but easy.
So one of the things that just hits me like a dagger to my core is when people say, you're living my dream. I want to start a sanctuary someday. I said, just come for 1 day and volunteer. See what it's like. There's no days off. We miss out on family. weddings and funerals, things that we can't get away from the farm. You never know what's going to happen when you wake up, if there's going to be somebody that's sick, somebody that needs to be rushed to the vet, an unexpected medical expense or other expenses. You eat, live, breathe, dream this.
Because
I didn't say sleep because we don't sleep very much. But.
The animals don't know if it's a holiday or not. To them, every day is a beautiful day, and they're waiting for you. So you have to be here.
This is Muffin, Remy, and Flower. They were bought as baby chicks from a local feed store, and then when they got too big and didn't fit in their coop anymore, the family drove 4 hours from Broward County to surrender them to us. Meek here came from another nonprofit that closed down, but she was surrendered to them because she kept getting diaper rash because they were trying to raise her in the house. Stevie came from a meat farm, was kicked by a donkey and broke her leg. So it's actually, thank you, she's gonna pee right in front of me. Sorry. Excuse me, ma'am. Yeah. So this is Black Beauty. She's blind in one eye. When these animals come to us, they're at their lowest point. Humans have given up on them. They've been neglected and abused. Every story has its own heartfelt pulls on your strings.
Do you consider rehoming some of these?
Yes, so our biggest goal is rescue, rehabilitation, and rehome when possible. So all of our adoptable animals are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and socialized. And through this mission and this program that we're doing, we want to be able to show to the world and to our communities that these animals are so compassionate. They make amazing pets, especially the potbelly pigs. And we've rehomed probably close to 75 farm animals so far in the last year and a half that we've been doing this. And I think we're pushing the 300 mark of the amount of animals that we've been able to rescue since we started.
Well, I think you have to have a mission.
Yeah.
You know, when you set a mission, when you set a goal line, you wake up to it and you recite it in your head every day, and you say, okay, this is what I have to live by, this is what I've put myself to, then you have something to kind of march towards. Even, you know, when it gets hard, when it's easy, when things are good, when things are bad, you can always come back and say, okay, well, you know, I dedicated my life to this mission, so I'm gonna stand behind it.
If you'd like to learn more about this rescue, you can log on to lovelifeanimalrescue.org. Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, our outdoor classroom segment features Cracker Cattle. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Mr. Benson. Your breakfast is served.
Time for another day in doggy paradise. I sure am one lucky pup.
Mr. Benson, would you like to go out for your morning stroll? The weather is quite lovely today.
That sounds wonderful. Don't mind if I do. After all that exercise, I think I'd like to lounge by the pool and maybe dip my paws in.
As you wish, sir. Right this way.
Ah, what a perfect day. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else but Donte's den while Mom and Dad are away.
At Donte's Den, we pride ourselves in providing the best experience for your beloved pup. Whether it be a day, a month, or a year, Donte's Den should always be at the top of your list for boarding. With an expansive campus, your dog will enjoy daily walks, pool time, and an endless supply of love. Even better, it's all under 24/7 supervision from our wonderful staff. If you're anything like us, your dog's safety and happiness come first. To learn more about Donte's Den, visit dontesden.org.
We are on the marsh pasture at the Crowley Museum Nature Center. We have our herd of registered Florida Cracker cattle. Some are unregistered as well, and they're used in our Florida Pioneer educational programs. Cracker cattle are a breed of cattle, a threatened breed of cattle that were left here in the 14 and 1500s in Spanish contact. They were a free roaming cattle. They were brought here for meat, for milk, and for labor. They actually worked them as well, you know, plowing and things like that. And it was actually the backs of these cattle on which the Florida we know today was built. So they're a pretty interesting little breed. This is Crowley. Crowley is our herd bull, our cracker herd bull. He is a registered cracker bull. He comes from really good stock. We actually purchased him. He's not one of the rescued or adopted ones, from the annual sale that is specifically dedicated to cracker cow and cracker horse history. Crowley has a really beautiful color pattern, which is desirable in the breed, and he has a very good disposition as far as bulls in general go. You would still want to be careful with him. You can see the horns and all the muscle in his neck, but he's usually very docile. And he so far so of his bull calves that he's created. He's really quite the specimen, so we're very proud of him. Ours are primarily used for sustainable grazing and education. We teach programs and we teach Florida pioneer history, and cracker cattle are a huge part of that, so that we keep a breeding herd here on the property now. Luckily, with 191 acres, we have a good amount of grass for them, which is always what's best, you know, an animal having their natural diet. So just making sure they've got food and water, that they're properly wormed and vaccinated, and just checking for calves and checking health in general. Cracker cattle are very unique. Cattle in general are pretty interesting, but cracker cattle have an interesting and rich history. They have a varied color pattern. Both the males and the females have horns, which is interesting, and they're very smart. They also are very, very adaptable to Florida's sometimes difficult weather and terrain. So they're a really great breed to have down here. They're a leaner breed, but they're very, very good for this area. This is Scarlet, and this is Willard. Scarlet is a young heifer, and Willard is a steer. That means he's been castrated. So he is used for our educational programs because of two reasons. One, his interesting brindle pattern, and two, he's a very friendly boy. So he'll come right up where some of the others are more shy. Anacoal Watusi, which we have adopted a few of them, are an African breed of cattle with very large horns. Their horns are actually the way they are, and they're kind of pneumatic. They have, you know, spaces in them where the blood circulates, and that actually helps to keep the cow cool. People think, oh, they're so heavy, why don't you cut them off and things like that, but you don't ever want to do that because it's a cooling system for their body. And additionally, they would bleed out if you were to remove those horns. And they're more of a novelty. Our visitors really like to see them. And being that they're an African breed, they are able to deal with the heat and all of that stuff. Charlotte's actually coming up right now. She must have known we were talking about her. Charlotte is a fully mature female adult Watusi. She is actually pregnant right now, so we're expecting a baby out of her. She's a little on the shy side, but she's very, very intelligent, and you'd be amazed at how she navigates even the woods with her large horns. Everybody plays a role in the herd. There's best friends, there's mothers and babies. We try to handle them a lot so that they'll approach the public and the public can meet them and interact with them, of course on the other side of the fence. But some of them love peppermints and cattle cubes and corn and all that good stuff. Right now what you see happening is they are moving towards the river. They'll all go together almost to drink, and that's safety in numbers for alligators and things like that. Cracker cattle are extremely resilient as far as heat and water and woods go. They'll also, if the grass becomes scarce in an area that they're in, they will actually eat the palmettos and things like that, and they're able to utilize it. They're a leaner breed of cow, or cattle, versus what you see today in beef operations. They are a beef cow. They tend to be leaner, but they are able to handle the heat better for that same reason. I really like cracker cattle because they serve so many purposes. They're really, really great for green space and agriculture exemptions. They are, when managed properly, an ecologically friendly way to clear land. They're very intelligent, they're very hardy, they do much better as far as disease goes and things like that. So they're very smart, they're very intelligent, they're very good mothers. So they're just a really great breed of cattle. I'm very happy that there has been an interest in preserving this breed. They were very critically threatened only a couple of years ago, and people have taken an interest, mostly hobby farmers and places like us that teach history, and it's really nice to have them be part of the immersive and hands-on educational experience here, especially ones like Red, who are always interested and always have interesting stories.
Stay with us. There's more animal outtakes coming up after the break.
So this is Ollie. Ollie is 7 years old. He's a resident here at Donte's. Ollie was actually in therapy dog school, and unfortunately, the people who had him in school decided they no longer want to continue with him, and they surrendered him to us. So Ollie has pretty good obedience. As you can see, if you have a pool, he'd be your best friend. He loves to swim, he loves to run, he loves to play, he gets along with other dogs. He just is a carefree kind of guy, very chill. Children are great with him, preteens are great with him, other animals, cats, dogs, it doesn't matter, maybe even a llama. If you got a pet llama and you live on a farm, he'd be okay with the pet llama. He is a lab mix, but that's all I know. He is a lab mix. But Ollie is super friendly, loves to play. I mean, he is a great car riding friend dog for you to have around other people and other animals. He's looking for the right person. Ollie loves eating. Well, Ollie gets fed a couple times a day. Ollie loves his treats. He loves his playtime. And as you can see, he likes just to chill out. Likes to hang out by the pool. Go ahead. Just a happy, friendly dog.
For more about the programs here at Donte's Den, log on to dontesden.org. Coming up after the break, a new baby at Zoo Tampa is causing quite a stir. See what all the fuss is about after the break.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Donte's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Donte's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dontesden.org.
It's estimated fewer than 3,000 pygmy hippos are left in the wild. Over the past 100 years, their habitat has declined dramatically because of humans logging, farming, and taking over the territory in Africa. So it's a big deal for us here in Florida when we can celebrate the arrival of one of these baby hippos. Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park is celebrating the birth of an approximately 10-pound pygmy hippopotamus. The yet-to-be-named female calf and 20-year-old mom, Jaja, are doing quite well. Zoo officials say the baby hippo appears to be strong and is nursing alongside her mother. The birth marks the 5th endangered pygmy hippo calf born at the zoo so far. It's all part of the species survival plan, overseen by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. This plan is created to ensure the survival of the protected, threatened, and endangered species. Conservation efforts for the pygmy hippo take lots of work and collaboration across international boundaries. And zoo staff say every birth is a sign of hope. We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. And we'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some engaging encounters. Until then, thanks for watching.
This is Sadie. You're so smart.